The big phone home. And Michael Mataluni, come aboard. Let's get weird right now on the Unidentified Celebrity Review. My girlfriend was talking through that whole thing. She just completely ruined that intro. Good Lord. She's lucky I love her.
Unidentified.
Hello, good morning, good evening, good day, good afternoon, and aloha, Michael Mataluni and everyone else out there. Welcome back to another episode of the Unidentified Celebrity Review, your home for credible news, reviews, and commentary on everything UAPs and UFOs. I'm Luis Jimenez. Welcome back. Michael, how are you, sir?
God, dude, I freaking love that intro, man. Like, as soon as I hear it, I'm jamming. I'm ready.
Right?
I'm ready to
Dude,
rock.
DOS tapes. I'm telling you. I called up Kevin. His name's Kevin. And I was like, dude, I need you to write me a song for this show. And he's like, gotcha. And you know what I gave him? I gave him the intro for Coast to Coast AM. I'm like, if it could be something like it's got this kind of feel, I think he completely ignored that. and did his own thing. And when I heard it, I was like, this is dope. This is way better. So yeah, that's why I'm not a musician, Michael.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right.
I thought you were referring to the intro with my girlfriend that was just talking through the top of the show there. Did you hear that?
Well, I did hear it a little bit. I actually wanted to hear more of her. So if she wants to pop on, that'd be fantastic.
Well, she's on a conference call for actual work. So technically I'm being the jerk in this situation, but we live in an apartment. And so, hey, man, that's my first world problems here right now.
Dude, killer show just now with Ryan, by the way.
Yeah, right. How fun was that?
I'm getting really stoked. I mean, we've got 5 days and counting till the big phone home. I just keep getting more amped up every day. Every single person out there who's sharing and tweeting and just building the momentum for this thing is exciting. So I'm just I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to be a part of it with you. And I think ultimately the bottom line is let's get more action. Let's get more data. Let's share what's going on with the public. And I'm thrilled.
Yeah, man, I am stoked that you're here. I was looking at this list and we're going to talk about it, guys. This is going to be a very, very, I don't know, laid back, but we're going to be talking about the ins and outs of the big phone home, sort of what we're doing, sort of the plan for it, what Michael's ideas are, what my ideas are. If you guys have any ideas out there, we'd love to hear them. Before we dive into that, I want to say hey to some people in the chat. We got Majestic Q Clearance. Hey, bro. I'll be going back and forth with Richard Dolan. Oh, Richard Dolan is on right now. We're competing against Richard Dolan. Well,
fuck me.
Jesus, dude. Know what I mean? Well, I'm taking these 12 viewers and we're going to the bank, Dolan. We're going to the bank. All right. So I'm glad you're here, Clarence, and that's cool, man. Just come back and watch it. Go watch Dolan, dude. Go watch Dolan and come back. I mean, we live in this on-demand world, dude. You don't have to watch both. Don't kill yourself. Say hello to my little friends. Who's his little friends?
Hello to my little friends.
I mean, I hope it's not a gun. Hello, Rusty. Welcome. Ex-UAP. He's been sending some videos, but dude, today was really busy. There are like 4 videos that people sent me that I've been meaning to watch, and I can't get to it because so much is going on. What would you like to see at the big phone home? I want to see people respectfully coming together on a really interesting issue with a riot. It's working, Michael. My messaging is working. Look at that.
Brings a little tiny tear
to my eye. I mean, dude, what a great comment. I agree 100%, man. That would be, I think, the ideal goal. That's what we're doing. That's the whole point. So yeah, thanks. Let's see here. Christopher Black, what's up, everyone? Welcome, sir.
Oh, I love her. She's the best.
Love
Hey, so
her.
for those of you who don't know who
You know,
Christina is, she is just incredible, and she's our newest contributor at the Debrief and amazing. Who also just launched her Patreon today, and if you haven't followed her, make sure you go follow her on Paradigm Shifts on the UFO channel, as well as on the Debrief, and then go, just bone up $10, 15
should
bucks,
I
20 bucks.
should I
Hook her up.
Michael?
She's amazing.
Let me ask you this: should I invite her to the chat right
Oh
now,
my God.
or
I
should
would,
we? Well, hold on before you answer. Okay,
yes.
I don't want anybody to get too excited. All right, before you
She
answer,
might be busy. She's busy as shit, but
dude, she's busy shit. But I was gonna put I was gonna put the link in our chat, our private chat that we have with all the group of the cool people, the cool table, as I like to call it. All right.
The cool nerd table.
The cool nerd table was super. Like, I think if this was really high school, this actually would be the greatest table to sit at.
Yeah, it just depends on where you want to look,
Right, true. Okay, but anyway, should we talk about the details of this first, or should I throw this in that chat and see who pops in? And
I say throw it in the chat, see who pops in, see who wants to pop in, and we can talk it through the whole time, and then we'll just grab any suggestions that we have. So basically, when as you're doing this, I'll just let everybody know. So, as you all know, we're going to be hosting the Big Phone Home on Saturday, and Luis hit me up and said, "Hey, Mike, let's make sure we have our shit together. Let's meet Tuesday night and make sure we got our shit together." And then he goes, "Should we just crowdsource it? Should we just go live and do it?" And I was like, what? Why the hell not? Of course, this is the age. This is the age we can do it. So
yeah. Well, dude, this is get used to this, everyone, because this is what's coming. Is we're gonna be doing live streams on this channel, and friends are gonna be popping in. Friends may not pop in. We may have somebody who we're just interviewing one-on-one, but just know this show is gonna interact and change and go live when things need to be talked about, and that's a lot. There's a lot to talk about. We've got some fun stuff planned post Big Phone Home. Aaron, welcome. And Grandmaster who's, by the way, one of the craziest fans I think we have. Look at this. Stop. All right. We're going brown people turning red. Newbie here from Texas. Welcome, Alicia, Carrie, Wyatt. I'm so happy you're here from Texas. I love Texas, even though I've only driven through it. I've never really hung out in Texas, truth be told.
I'm dying to hang out in Texas.
Dying to hang out in Texas. Dude, I'm dying to hang out anywhere, right?
Oh,
hey, guess what? We just took 4 more from Dolan Stream. So moving up. Moving up. Okay. So wait, I took that down so fast. That's so funny. Look at that. Dude, we're getting so much love. Okay, enough with the chit chats. I'm sure we'll reference them. And Christina, you're more than welcome to come hang. Okay, so where should we start?
Let's start with, so we've got a pretty amazing group of people who are going to be joining the Big Phone Home. So just if you're brand new to this, Luis, why don't you give them a quick breakdown of what the Big Phone Home is, and then we'll kind of walk through step by step of what we need to accomplish this evening.
Okay, so the Big Phone Home is a all-inclusive effort of journalists, scientists, former government officials, amateurs, influencers, podcasters, YouTubers to come together on the same day, Saturday, April 24th, and make phone calls and Twitter requests to Congress using our scripts and our call lists to kindly request more data, information, transparency, and extensions for the 180-day report to get more information on the UAP phenomena on the topic, and engaging and inviting these senators to join us in the discussion. I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen this year, but that's something we're trying to long-term goals for next year. But yeah, that's basically it. We're going to be doing it live from my channel. Again, Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to be doing it in 2 live streams. So there's going to be 2 live streams because this software that I use only allows us to do 4-hour shows at a time. The longest you can stream is 4 hours. So we are going to be doing it in 2 parts. That's why you may see 2 links for the show. And yeah, that's it. We're going to be talking about UAPs, transparency, discussions, and ways we can move forward, not only with the government, but as a community, and getting more data and more information.
Yeah, I just want to put like a fine point on that and say, number one, you know, the goal is to get people excited about calling and getting their representatives to take this issue seriously. And then number two, we're going to have fun all day long talking to some of the heaviest hitters, some of the coolest people, some of the most amazing activists, journalists, and scientists around. So, I mean, come on. What's better than that?
What's better than that? I mean, and I'm also, I like, fingers crossed, I'm hoping that during this live stream, and this is something we're going to talk about because we do have some open spots and we haven't sent out the last email. I got to do that after this stream to the rest of our guests. And we did it in a 3-tiered system. We're going to explain why. I'm thinking of leaving a couple spots open just in case we get some people who get wind of this live stream and go, yeah, I'll come by and talk to you guys for 5 or 10 minutes. You know, why not? Who knows, man? Who knows who we might attract? I'm reaching out to a lot of people. I'm trying to really coordinate with Jamarl from the Progressive Soapbox. I've been in conversations with him today. I know he's an incredibly crazy guy, but that's one guy I really would love to have on this show because his interview with Lou Elizondo, I think, is the best one I've maybe ever seen, followed very closely by Zach Seichi's interview. I mean, all of their questions just cut to the bone of this issue.
Don't forget Christina. Christina rocked him out.
Christina absolutely blew his face off with all of the questions that she had, and
he had to respectfully decline.
Dude, he was respectfully declining left and right, and just, you know, his expressions for some questions were just like, who are you? So yeah, Christina would probably be third, to be honest with you. And that's not a knock. Like, that's like, she is brand new. Like, she did a better interview than me. Like, so there you go. The point is like we're trying to attract as many people as we can. So maybe we could discuss, you know, those open spots and how we can maybe strategize those open spots for people. I don't know.
Hey, Luis.
Yeah.
Luis, I have a question. We have a lot of people who've been asking, are you guys going to invite Mick West? What's going on with Mick?
Really?
Did he respond? Yeah.
Well, so Mick was on the show and he declined. I thought, and I had mistaken based off of a couple of tweet interactions we had. And I'll be honest with you, I couldn't find them. My Twitter feed is insane to go through. And I don't know how to find his tweets that we had. But my impression after those first sets of tweets was, he was into the idea because, like, how could you not be into the idea of getting more data? Like, it would be killer if we got the radar tracking points for those 3 videos that were released or that, you know, that everybody was made aware of in 2017. Mm-hmm. That would be a huge data drop. If that's the only thing we got out of this report, that would be massive, because then
I don't understand why he's not interested in being a part of that.
I mean, look, man, I tried to have the conversation with him. I just don't think he wants his name associated with something that I think he doesn't think is going to work, because he's like, you know, because I mean, there was a point in the conversation where I was just trying to spitball ideas of different things that we could possibly do. And the thing that I was talking to him about was the SCU. And one of the reasons why the SCU redacted all of their names is because I think they're pitching themselves as, hey, to the government, hey, this is a group of scientists that I think you can trust. We can maybe have a conversation about signing NDAs, and let us look at the data. Let us try and figure out this problem with you, because right now it's all behind closed doors and it's not going to get anywhere unless we have a real scientific discussion.
Yeah, and I feel like the skeptics and the scientists and we should all be on the same team here. Isn't that the whole point of this?
It's the whole point of this, man. And so, yeah, it's just like, he doesn't think that the government is interested in this topic, number one, as much as we think they are. And he doesn't think, and he's got a little bit of a point, because it's a $22 million program over 5 years. Yeah. That's nothing. It's pork belly spending. It's nothing. Yeah. I mean, but one of my ideas is, hey, instead of giving $22 million to a program that's hidden behind, you know, closed doors and secrecy and veiled secrecy, Why don't we take that $22 million and give it to the SCU or Harvard or MIT and let them buy sky hubs, let them open source the sky hubs. Like, I mean, like there are so many different conversations and ways that we can ask and request data from this government that doesn't have to do with classified footage or satellite image over Afghanistan. You know,
well,
like
and you think about how much money was put into ATIP and OSWAP and all of those things, and how much of that was misspent and mishandled and misappropriated. And it's like, if we could literally funnel
it's the government, bro.
Yeah, I know. But if you could funnel that money into private subcontractors and scientists with sky hubs, I mean, because that's the thing, right? We need to be, we need to have all eyes on the skies if we're going to understand. And now with the drone wars and with China and all of this happening, it's going to get that much harder, not to mention deep fakes and everything else. It's going to be that much harder to identify the diamond in the rough. But we need, if we're going to do it, we have to do it in a way that is incredibly scientific and focused on, you know, finding what we're actually looking for. And, you know, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah, well, I mean, but if we're gonna ask, let's say we do ask for something like that, and we're not making that request this year. That's like not on the table this year. But for maybe next year, if let's say MIT or the SCU gets a grant to get, I don't know, 30 sky hubs, you know, I haven't done the math, but like when I talked to McGowan, it's like a $5,000 expense, you know, so however much, you know, 2,000 of them would cost, and give them to all the scientists that they have across universities. But if you're going to take advantage of that grant, you have to make the data public. You have to share it with us. It cannot go straight to the government. You know, like this is pork belly spending. This data should be open sourced and looked at and scrutinized.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Vic West wouldn't be into that.
Exactly. And honestly, at the end of the day, I think it's best that we just gather as much information as we can from the government while simultaneously funding these things privately, because, you know, at the end of the day, we're the ones who want the information. So we should have our people on it.
I agree 100%. Here's a question, guys. Why the confidence that the Sky Hub can negate the ability of the phenomena to avoid detection? If you got another tool, go for it. Like I'm using the Sky Hub as an example. If somebody else has another instrument that can analyze and measure this phenomena, please put it on the table and let's talk about it. And right now, though, I point to the Sky Hub because that seems to be the one that the SCU is gravitating toward, and other independent researchers are looking at, because it's a really good system, but you know it still needs a lot of work. It still needs. And
I think Shawnee's point is that you know, at the end of the day, if these things are as sophisticated as we think they may be, then they could, you know, they're way ahead of our detection signals, and they're avoiding them completely. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, we need to put our best foot forward, whatever we have available.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, you know, that same exact thing could be said for earthquakes. We don't know when they're coming. We don't know what they look like, you know, like that doesn't mean we shouldn't study them, you know, like it doesn't mean we shouldn't look. So yeah, I kind of misread that. I'm glad you corrected me on that. You know, if the phenomena is that advanced, let's just say it is an extreme intelligence, and they monitored that we just, you know, put 10,000 sky hubs across the country, who knows, man? Maybe they might show themselves a little more sporadically and release the data in a way that they know is going to be collected and looked at and not met with a military mind.
Yeah.
Possible, you know. Possible.
No, I know, but the opposing viewpoint would be, well, maybe they're going to show themselves less, right? Because they see all of these detection devices. We're looking for them. But at the end of the day, you know, we've got, if we're going to look, we got to look, and we got to do it methodically and according to the scientific method. And
the bottom line is, we don't know that to be true.
Exactly.
Like we have to try it before we can rule that out, you know. And if there's a different filter of, you know, a different spectrum of light or UV that we need to add to the Sky Hub, I mean, look, if they're real, there's got to be a way to detect them. There just has to be. There has to be. It's just we haven't we haven't come together and figured it out.
Well, I think that's the most important
That's
point.
the problem.
And you and I, we're not scientists, but
No.
what I think we can do, what I think is most important about what we're doing is that we put ourselves out there and attract the attention so that the real scientists can do the work, right? That's what we need. We need the real scientists on this, but we need to make this an effort that, we get rid of the stigma, we get rid of all the fear and the weirdness surrounding this phenomenon, and just study it like any other phenomenon that you'd study in nature.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to put this on the table as a topic just as worthy as oceanography or geology or whatever ology you want to throw on the table. Like, it just needs to be looked at. That's it.
So let's talk about Saturday and what we want to do and what our focus is. Do you want to share the guest list and the times people are coming on, so people get an idea of what Saturday is going to look like?
Let's do it. I am going to hold on one second. Let me open up the list here. I'm
gonna do a sound effect.
Awesome. All right, I got it. Let me just blow this screen up. Okay. So this is our guest list. I don't know if people can, what I'll do. If I take us off the screen, they can still hear us, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I think if I take us off the screen, it mutes us. I thought there was a way to do that. Anyway, we should figure that out. But
for Saturday, so this is our dry run.
yeah, this is our dry run. I mean, we may not need to figure it out just because I don't think there's going to be a lot of moments where we're doing something like this where we're sharing the screen, because we're going to be having, whatever it is, 50 people on the show, however many people are coming.
I feel like Chris Plain is baiting me in the comment section here.
He
said, hey, Michael and Luis, there's a movement among many UFO Twitter folks who think the answer to communicating with UAPs is not with technology, but a matter of consciousness. What do you feel about that? And I have a lot of feelings about that, considering I'm very much a psychonaut. And I do believe that there is, many levels of consciousness. And when you look at, quantum mechanics and quantum physics and begin to start to study the spooky nature of the universe, we have a lot more connections that may go beyond our personal technology. But that being said, I'm very much for that exploration, Chris.
I am as well. I mean, dude, it's I don't know a lot about that aspect of it, and I'm gonna be having James Lindoli on the show to talk a little bit more about sort of what people are labeling CE5. But when I had Christina on the show, she was like, CE5 is nothing new. He's just labeling it something else and charging people for it. I was like, oh yeah, that's true. I mean, people have been meditating since the beginning of time. As a matter of fact, bow hunting was one of the first forms of meditation, because to kill an animal with a bow and arrow takes a lot of concentration and skill. So I think there's something to that aspect of things. I wouldn't even know who to trust or where to begin on who would study that aspect of it. But you want to know something? That is something, and those are conversations we can have in the next year leading up to the next big phone home, because I think you're right. Whoever left that comment, sorry, I'm forgetting your name. That's something we should be looking into. That's an aspect that 100%, I think it has to be valid on some level. And there's got to be ways to measure it, because I was also talking to Christina, like if what's his name, CE5 guy, Stephen Greer, was going out to the desert, and he had some sky hubs, and he had some, spectrum analyzers, and he had things to see in different spectrums of light, and ways to measure radiation, and ways to measure mind, waves and things like that, in the desert. And I know that's a lot to ask for. I think there's ways to run experiments where people are hooked up like that and people aren't. apart and try and see if there's different. I mean, again, I have no idea, dude. I have no clue. These are just ideas.
They're great questions, though. They're fantastic questions.
They're fantastic questions.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you bringing it up, Chris, because I think that there's really something to that. And the deeper we look into quantum mechanics, the deeper we look into string theory and the multiverse, the potential multiverse. I think I showed you this, but I'm reading Michio Kaku's book, The God Equation, where he's talking about the theory of everything and trying to take relativity and quantum mechanics and figure out how we bridge those gaps. But there's a deep misunderstanding that we have with ourselves and the nature of the universe. And there's a lot of really cool studies coming out that scientists are producing about, how the universe behaves and whether or not it is teaching itself. There's a new study out now. I was listening to it on Micah Hanks' podcast, the Micah Hanks program. And there's a new study out now that they're doing about whether or not the universe is actually learning as it creates itself, and it's truly fascinating stuff.
Dude, that is just mind. That's almost as like the Lou Elizondo's thing of the cigarette. The ash is the past, the cherry is the present, and the unburnt part is the future. And it's just like, whoa, dude! I love that.
Yeah, I love it too, but I don't appreciate the cigarette analogy because I just quit a month ago.
Dude, congratulations. Congratulations. You're killing it, man. You're killing it. No, that's great. You got a month. I feel like that's a pretty good handle on things, man.
It is.
You got a very high success rate, I think, going. Okay, so let's get to this list.
Yes.
That is not.
There you go. You got a nice and big now.
Yeah, I got it nice and big now. Okay, so here's my first concern.
Okay.
Is that, oh God, this is hilarious. We didn't allow ourselves any buffer to start the show, and there's no buffer to end the first stream. So it might be strange for that transition to the next stream. So that's my biggest concern that I sort of noticed right off the bat when this list started getting filled out. I think it's something we can work past, but I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Honestly, man, like we did, I was telling you about the live show we did for the debrief, and it was only 3 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. And we had it kind of scripted like this. We had our 15-minute intervals, but one of the things I noticed was so fun was that everybody who came on, like I had, people in 15-minute intervals, and we were going to bring them in and then rotate them out, but nobody wanted to leave.
Right. Right. So I don't know if we're gonna have that problem because I don't think so. I mean, it's okay if they go a little bit over, but I have a feeling some people are gonna be like, hey, I can only hang out for 10 minutes, so that's gonna happen with some folks, I think.
Maybe we should just from the beginning, maybe we should go live at like 9:45.
But the thing is, that's gonna take 15 minutes off the back end.
What do you mean?
Because remember, we've got the stream is exactly 4 hours long, so we can't move it up or down. We can't do it, So we have to literally have Lou Elizondo, Dan Setterstrom, Graham Rendo, and Christina Gomez kind of sitting there for maybe 5 minutes while you and I sort of introduce the show. And I don't know, like, do we want to take away 5 minutes?
I don't.
And by the way, this is our guest list.
That's why I blocked out 10:30. Because I think that's okay. So we've got so many heavy hitters so early. So that panel is going to be so strong that I think is if we leave them sitting there for 5 minutes and then come back in and start, they're going to have plenty of time to hang out. And I know Lou's got 1,000 things going on, but he might have fun. We might have a good time. We might keep it around once he sees Christina. Once he sees Christina,
right? We may be able to keep him all day. All right. Yeah. I'm sorry, Christina. You are the bait. All right. And this show is the bear trap. Okay. And Lou Elizondo is the bear. So just full disclosure. All right. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna have fun. Okay.
I'm crying.
So okay, so we've blocked out the 10:30 hour. That'll probably be because those guys will bleed into that hour.
Chris just said this feels like every debrief meeting I sit in.
That's the idea, man. Like, that's the idea. We're giving you a peek behind the curtain on how we think and how we work. So at 11 o'clock, we've got Baptiste Fricourt, which is a French activist that is helping us in France and really pushing. I think he might be in the chat. So he's usually here for the show, but I think it's pretty late over there in France. He might not be here. But a huge supporter of the movement. So we're going to be talking to him, and then we've got Christopher Sharp and Strafe Wilson at 11:30. Strafe has been helping me tremendously, especially when it comes to the Facebook and the UK side of things. He's put me in touch with everyone over there. So just a really great person that's doing a lot of legwork behind the scenes and helping us out. Same thing with Christopher Sharp. Chris Sharp has got a pretty nice influence on Twitter. So, like, should we go through the whole, everyone that's coming so far?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
So real quick.
Yeah,
so we've got from 10 to 11. But so I think that'll be good. So we'll not have to rush through that, and then we'll switch at 11, and then folks will start to drop off. But we've got some open spaces, and you haven't sent out the last email yet. So some of these spaces are going to be filled in, right?
Correct. Yeah.
I almost wonder if we should. I almost wonder, and I know, but at the same time, I almost wonder if we should block out a few of these blocks, just because. I mean, again, that's the biggest thing I figured. And maybe Lou Elizondo doesn't want to stay the whole time, but like, some of these other folks, we're gonna be having fun. Like, we're gonna be having fun.
People are gonna want to hang. Oh, yo, Explorer Lab is here. All right, there we go. People are gonna have fun, man. They're not gonna want to leave, I think, because the conversations are gonna be a blast. But that's where you and I come in. Where I think, if I think. I'm trying to remember what the number is. I can look this up now, but I believe I can have up to 12 people in this chat.
Okay.
So the idea is to have around six people on at all times, more or less, with you and I, obviously controlling the where the conversation goes and how it's had. But and like you said, these spots are going to fill in, but I'm just not sure where we should, where we should, put in, like, open spots for guests that we did not plan on showing up.
Right.
We also have to keep in mind, Michael, at least for me, I would like to make at least once every hour, 15 minutes worth of phone calls. So that way I could show everybody, hey, like, we're not only hosting the show, we're actually doing activism at the same time. I think that's really important.
Agreed.
And of course you're more than welcome to do that, but if you can't, I understand. Okay. So yeah, as far as these open spots, I can tell you what, though, whoever fills in this 11 a.m. slot, you might got a chance to talk to Lou Elizondo and Christina Gomez. So, it's a pretty decent spot that you might want to sign up for if you want to change it real quick. But but the hour that right here is where we get into the 1 o'clock hours when guests really start pumping in. And we've got
all right. So we've got 2 4-hour slots. So we've got 10, 11, 12, 1 to 2, and then it restarts at 2, right?
Correct. Well,
okay.
Yes.
So we may just have to dip out at about 1:55 and launch the next one. So we might even consider asking Jeremy McGowan, some of these folks at the 1:30 hour might want to try to come in earlier, and then we could actually block out some spots there at 1:30. So we could kind of do a wrap up there at 1:30. Maybe ask some of these folks if they're willing to move up a little earlier in the day or later in the day.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like, I just, here's the thing is, once we start asking people to change times, that could open up a whole can of worms, because the one block I was really excited about was this 1 o'clock block, because it's all ladies. It's like our ladies hour.
Right.
And I thought that was really cool. We could highlight the lady voices that we have that are joining us on this movement. And I'm leaving one spot open, hoping that we can get another lady voice in there. So I don't want to move them.
Right.
Especially based off of, because I don't know what Chase's schedule looks like. That's really the one I'm worried about. But it could be cool if we can get Tyler to go to 12:30 and move the girls up that one spot and everybody else with it. But I mean, yeah, that's my only concern with that.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise we just leave it as is, and then it is what it is, and then at 150, 155, we just say goodbye to our 130 slot, and then
Yep.
we pop right into the 2, and it is what it is.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid of, but what if at the 130 slot, because these are great guests.
Oh, Chris Plain didn't miss a second to call you out on calling them the girls. Didn't miss a beat. He didn't miss a beat.
Damn. All right.
Not a beat.
You got me. You got me. I'm sorry. Okay, the ladies. I'm sorry. Stand corrected. Thank you for pointing that out.
Strong, powerful, independent women.
Yeah. I mean, look, if I thought they were girls, I wouldn't put them all together. Like I want to empower this one particular half hour and really highlight their voices. But you're right. I should call them girls. They are women. Yeah, I mean, look, worst case scenario, I think we can also give this 1:30 time slot the link to the second half of the show.
Is Chrissy Newton not in that female hour of power?
Chrissy Newton can't make it.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, I told her if things change, I almost wanted to block out this spot for her, just in case things do change and she decides to change her mind, or not her mind, but if circumstances change where she can make it, I said, we will make room for you anytime. Just say the word. And so that spot is kind of reserved for her. I would love for her to be there, but I understand why she can't be. And we won't get into the reasons why, because they're personal reasons. But if she can, by any means make, I would love for her to be in that slot. But you know what? If she ends up, down here with Gaucho and James Lindoli, or with my dad, by the way, who's coming at 3:30, that would be awesome too.
I can't wait to meet your dad.
Dude,
I can't wait to meet the producer.
Yeah. I am a spitting image of my father. A spitting image. So Chrissy's saying right here she can't be there, right? But she will be listening, and that she loves us very much. So we have her support. All right. So
we love her.
And by the way, I know Alien Girl's listening. If you want to help me in this effort, if you want to, we do have a lot of ladies that are helping us behind the scenes. They're doing the Twitter effort. They're making phone calls, but they don't have a YouTube channel. They don't have a podcast. So, they're a lot more shy and a lot more hesitant to coming. Yeah. Michael's got to do something to coming on the show. So, if you guys have any female voices out there in the UAP community, as a matter of fact, I just on Martin Willis's show, God, I'm having a big time brain fart, but the niece of Betty and Barney Hill was just on Martin Willis's show. I'm forgetting her name. I feel like such an idiot. Kathleen Marsden, I believe. And I asked her to come on. So Martin is going to forward me her info. Maybe we can sneak her in there. That would be great, because I think the Betty and Barney Hill story is, I think, my favorite abduction story of all time, just because of the time frame of that story. A mixed race couple in the 60s reporting about an abduction, like absolute nutty stuff. Chrissy Newton, please get her in touch with me. If you can, introduce me in an email, because I would love to fill this slot and make it just all about the women in that I think 11 o'clock. What do we say?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock hour. Yeah, that 1 o'clock time slot. Love it. So yeah, please do me that favor.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say, someone said Nick Pope is dope. I would love to get Nick Pope. Like, yeah, he is dope. I would love to get him. And we're gonna reach out to him on Twitter. There's a lot of UAP personalities that I just haven't had the chance to reach out to. So if you guys want to help me reach out to these people, use the hashtag the big phone home. Make sure you put our website in there so they got a reference point for some information. That way it's got a better chance of them reaching out to us, and maybe we can get them in here, So definitely do that for us if you can.
Yeah, and I just wanted to mention, if you guys haven't gone to the Big Phone Home yet and opted in, this way we can get your email address and make sure we can send everything out to you. That's great. And then, the hashtag is fantastic because it gets things trending, but we also want to be able to make sure people actually find the show. So sending them to the Big Phone Home website is a big part of that. So please do that.
Definitely. Okay, so let's continue with our guest. So the 1:30 hour. And by the way, Christina Gomez is coming on twice. She's going to be there for the ladies' hour. So the 1:30 hour, we've got Jay from Project Unity, Robert Powell, Jeremy McGowan, and possibly another SCU guest. So I blocked that out for that person. I think that's going to be.
We asked the SCU guests why they redacted their names from that public report.
You know what, man? I have a theory.
I have a theory also.
I think I don't know, but I think it's because they're trying to approach the government as a scientific organization that might be willing to sign some NDAs to look at the data and decipher the data without it getting out publicly. That's one of my theories. And of course, the other theory is, hey, some people just don't want their names out there.
Right.
But from what I understand from some of the behind the scenes conversations I've had is that the names of this, once it goes to Congress, become public. So it doesn't really matter that they redacted the names.
But don't you think the letter that actually went to Congress was not redacted, and it was only redacted on the public version? That was my theory, is that they sent it to Congress with their names signed, but then they released it publicly so people could see, but they redacted it. And it was like this whole Twitter started like, how can we expect to end UAP secrecy when you're being secretive? And it's like, the guys, calm down.
Like, listen, man, if we're gonna yell at the scientists like that every time they make a mistake, they're gonna fucking quit. They're gonna quit. Like, just chill. I'm sure there was nothing nefarious behind the reason why they did that.
I agree.
Give them a couple of weeks and let's see if they correct and address the mistake. That's it. Like, why are we freaking out about this? I don't understand. Like, if this is how we're gonna ask for information, we're in for a real long road.
Lou, I love the way you bring this concept to the public about how important it is that we stop fucking fighting each other constantly with these 220 characters on Twitter. Like, it just doesn't help anyway. You and Sprague were talking about this earlier about how critical it is that if we actually want to be a community that gets respect, then we can't be infighting the way we do. It's just not healthy. It doesn't bring. But now, it doesn't mean you can't be skeptical. It doesn't mean you can't poke holes in arguments. It just means that if we're gonna do it respectfully. Do it in a way that you would actually appreciate somebody talking to you, and not to go to Oprah on everyone. But come on, man. Let's have a conversation that doesn't devolve into name calling.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's hard. It's hard with this topic because a lot of people have anger when it comes to this topic, and it's because they feel like they're being lied to. And I can relate to that feeling because I've been there. I've been angry about this topic, but you got to really learn how to step back and ask yourself this question. Has anybody died in my family because I didn't get the data? Has anybody been tortured or unjustly arrested or killed at the hands of someone with power?
Right.
No. So we have to really, really put this topic into perspective, even though at its core, if it's true, is world changing.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to be respectful when we do anything in this life. Anything. If you want results, you got to give the respect you expect to receive. Simple as that. Simple as that. But okay, so let's continue. So at 2:00, we've got Martin Willis. He says he's bringing a guest. I don't know if that guest is Alejandro Rojas. I gotta just confirm that with him. Although when I just talked to him on this live stream, he said Alejandro Rojas may not come by. He's working on a project, so he may not stop by. We'll see. At 2:30, we've got Andy McGrillen from That UFO Podcast. We've got Jazz Shaw and Sean Cahill.
Dude, this is gonna be so much fun.
That is gonna be a killer half hour. And if we can even get Dave Partridge a little early in that half hour, maybe he could join those dudes, because that would be fun. I'm very tempted to put my dad in that last spot for the 2:30 time slot.
Do we not have Chris Plain in here? Is he not? Do we?
Chris Plain, same thing. I talked to Chris. So Chris, Ryan, and Chrissy won't be able to make it. They're going to be watching live. They're going to be supporting us. Ryan did the live stream tonight, just sort of let his fan base know what's going on. So they're supporting in their different ways. And I'm hoping next year they'll be available. Next year, there will be a lot more history to lean on, so that way people are more comfortable with doing something that's never been done before. And it's just, look, we got to be careful. Organizations can't tie themselves to this. They got to be independent. They've got to look neutral. So we can't put people in awkward positions. That's all. And so that's what we're trying to avoid. And if they're supporting in other ways, more power to them, just as long as you're supporting, let's do it. Right. So that's why Chris Plain won't be there, but I would love to have Chris Plain. Chris Plain is going to be coming on this show. I've told Chris about some of the things we're doing post Big Phone Home, and he's down and he's totally in on that. So don't worry, we will be seeing a lot of Christopher Plain in this on this channel.
I didn't say I want to see a lot of Christopher Plain.
Right. Well, at least a good 15-minute chunk, and then he can go kick rocks till next year. Calling me out on the girls' comment. Get the hell out of here. I'm kidding, dude. I'm kidding. Okay, so this 4:00 time slot is, I think, the most exciting one. It's one of the most exciting ones, because it is just a murderer's row of UAP voices. So we've got Ryan Robbins, aka Post Disclosure World, aka UFO Jesus.
Ryan, right?
Yeah. Okay. So we've got him with Danny Silva from the Silva Report or Silva Record. And we've got UFO Joe Murgia, who's a big influence in the UFO Twitter world, and Jeremy Corbell.
Wow. That's gonna be
I
feel like we should block out that 4:30 hour, honestly.
I was kind of feeling that too. I'm not gonna lie. Gonna lie. Here's my concern.
Okay.
Full disclosure. Okay. Carl Anderson does not like Jeremy Corbell. So he's in the 5:00. I don't say doesn't like, their philosophies clash.
Right.
Big time. And I don't want arguments on this channel. I want to come together on the common ground. We are having Carl.
Well, can't we just have UFO Jesus bring them together?
Right. I mean, if UFO Jesus can't bring them together, this is look, he's, oh my God, by the way, look who's here. Okay, man. This is like, that was
pure serendipity. That was pure serendipity.
I told, and I'm glad Alien Scientist is here too, right? I told Ryan, I was like, dude, when I was like, you were the first guest that Michael Mataluni asked about, and he even suggested giving you an hour. I was like, dude, we are so stoked to talk to you. So yeah, I cannot wait for this guy to come on board. And I think you're right. I think, you know what? Fuck it, dude. Let's do it right now. Let's do it.
Block it off.
Block it off. We're blocking it off. It's done, dude. It is done. Like, there's a way.
Wait, you're blocking off.
Look, see, this is why I shouldn't be doing this, Michael.
No, you got it.
Okay, I got it. Can I do all three like that?
Yeah, you can just block. Dude, yep. Bam.
Bam. Okay. So that, I mean, I have a feeling that conversation is gonna spill. Okay, so Carl, I want to touch on Carl. By the way, Carl Anderson, who is alien scientist, he's going to be on the show tomorrow. Now, Carl, man, this guy comes out at 1,000,000 miles an hour. All right. So I'm going to see, I know his ideas and his theories, clash very much with Jeremy Corbell. Right. So I don't want those two to mix.
In what way?
He doesn't believe Jeremy and Bob Lazar. He just doesn't believe it.
Okay.
And I can sympathize with that a little bit. Everybody's got their viewpoints. Yeah.
I was going to say, at the end of the day, like, it's like the thing on Twitter where it's like a retweet does not equal an endorsement. It's like, just because you're on the show doesn't mean like we agree with everything you say or think. Like, that's so critical. Like and I think, same for an interview show. Like, when we're interviewing people, it's not saying that we agree with everything. We're trying to understand that person's perspective so that they can give more context to the conversation. Like that's the beauty. But you're saying he's intense, right?
Here's the thing, Jeremy. And by the way, I got his name completely wrong. It's Jeremy Reese. I'm so sorry, dude. There's a billion names and accounts in my head, so I apologize for getting your name incorrect. But we're talking tomorrow, and at 3:00 live stream. So join us for that. But yeah, man. I mean, I see a lot of myself in Jeremy's work where I was like angry. I was, angry, but I had to just step back and be like, okay, dude, look, we're not, again, this fighting on Twitter. We're talking past each other. I want to stop talking past each other. I want to start talking to each other. So that's why I want to have Jeremy on the show. Jeremy Reese, that is, before we go on, because I want to talk to him about this. I want to dive into see, look at this. Look at this. See, Jeremy blocked me and now we have beef. He won't dare debate me. Like, I mean, if you approach him like that, he'll never talk to you. He'll never, and I can tell you, I've had some harsh criticisms of Jeremy Corbell's work and of Bob Lazar's story. But there's still a way to approach people and get them to talk to you just because we disagree on these points. And by the way, Jeremy's going to come back and I'm going to have this conversation with him because there are a lot of questions I do have about that story. And let's see where we go, but I can tell you this about Jeremy Corbell, 100% without a doubt, because he gave me his phone number today. I was like, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. He is a very, very cool dude that is very passionate about what he's doing. Doesn't mean all of his information is 100% correct. Doesn't mean it's 100% incorrect. The dude is trying. He's trying.
He's weaponized your curiosity.
He's weaponized your curiosity. There's a lot of good things to take from Jeremy Corbell and the films that he's made and the work that he's done. And you said it right there, dude. He's weaponized people's curiosities. He's brought people like Joe Rogan to completely do a 180 on his belief system when it comes to this. And now he's talking about it. He's bringing on highly credible. I mean, David Fravor likes Jeremy Corbell. So there's something about Jeremy Corbell that people gravitate to. And I'm telling you right now, Jeremy Reese, the dude's cool. But I don't want to dive into this on this episode. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. And I'm going to try to take this sort of he would never dare debate me perspective and see if maybe one day he will.
Or have a conversation.
Or at least have the conversation. And that doesn't mean you have to do it in front of people. We can do this behind closed doors. And if there's a way I can facilitate this conversation, I'm going to fucking try and do it, because I think this is my favorite part about this topic. Let's find the common ground. Let's find the common ground and move forward on that. That's all I'm going to say about this. But I'm really excited to have both of them on. Both of them are going to be here for individual interviews. Both of them are going to be here for the big phone home. So Jeremy, by the way, I should change this from Carl Anderson to Jeremy Reese.
Why Carl Anderson?
Because I thought his name was Carl Anderson for some reason. I don't know why, dude. Look, I've got. Did
I get it?
Seen seen our poster? Have you seen the emails I've been sending? I've got names that are just like your name's alien scientist. I've got to learn 2 names. I got to learn your real name, and I got to learn your goddamn stage name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I genuinely am sorry, dude. But I've never organized anything like this, so I'm gonna make mistakes.
No.
So I'm sure you know that. I'm sure everyone knows that. And I've set that expectation. Expect mistakes. They're gonna happen. Okay, so let's read a couple comments, Michael. Does anyone agree that Luis Elizondo loves what he's doing? Love what he's doing, by the way. Okay, does anyone agree that Luis Elizondo has our best interests in mind? But we all know that there's been black projects that us taxpayers paid, and why we can't get info from that. Because those black projects are probably being used in top secret missions. You know, like they're not at the level of the SR-71 yet. They haven't been retired. That's why I think. I mean, do you have a comment on that?
I wasn't listening at all.
No, it's great. That's good. That's good. You don't have to listen, Michael. The question's right on the screen. Like what's going on with you? Jesus, dude, how is this going to work for an 8-hour live stream?
I know. No, we had so they were making fun of me in the private debrief channel that I was laughing at my own jokes.
You know what's changed, dude? Your smoker's laugh is sort of dissipated.
What?
It's not. No. Yeah, it's not as
rich. All right, back to the SIGs.
It's not as gritty
for me then.
No, that's a good sign, man. Your lungs are clearing up. That's good.
Lungs clearing up. All right, I'll take it.
I guess it's a silly question. Obviously, we won't get answers from black projects. You kind of answered your question before I even got to that part. Great. I'm glad we're on the same page, and Michael wasn't listening anyway. So, okay. So, okay. All right, man. I see, dude. This is what I love about these live stream formats. It's almost like stand-up comedy for me. Like, especially when
improv.
I got
it's like improv.
It's total improv. This is
I took an improv class once, and it was fucking awesome. I loved it.
Yeah. Okay. So, thanks. Okay. Good. We're still good.
All right.
Still good. We're still
good deal.
Good.
See.
Still good. All right. We're still good. This is good. He's still in a good mood. Jeremy, I cannot wait to meet you tomorrow. Whew, dude, I'm glad that we found out your name, or that I got that straightened out before I started that live stream. Dude, I would have labeled it Carl Anderson. I think I don't know what I did. Somehow I got those mixed up. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. There might be a good explanation.
I'm dying to know who the hell Carl Anderson is.
Yeah, I don't know. Now I got to find out. The guy has a channel named The Unidentified Celebrity Review, and he's complaining to memorize our channel names. I'm not complaining.
I love it. Is that French wit? Is that French wit?
Yeah. But he makes a great point. It's true. The name of my show is way too fucking long. But I thought it was clever when I did it. And then of course I thought I was real clever when I called it the Big Phone Home. That hashtag is just a nightmare. But hey, man, you know, I'm not perfect. I've definitely have set that standard. Okay, so do we have any?
So we've blocked out 4:30. We've got an hour of power at 4.
Yep. And then we end the show with James Lindoli, who is engaging the phenomenon. And by the way, I think I've gotten a majority of these names and accounts right. So give me a little credit here, guys. And then we've got the Undead Gaucho to end.
I love how he put his name in at the bottom right, like at the very
I did that.
Did that?
Yeah, just because I did that to encourage people to fill out, in other spots. But that's the lineup for the day. And again, I'm sending out the last set of emails. I think it's only like 10, maybe 10 people. So and some of them I've already emailed. So
this might be we're probably close here. We're probably pretty close.
I think we're real close. But yeah, I mean, are there any concerns that you see or anyone in the chat?
I would be concerned if you weren't an actor with an improv skill set, but you are. So we'll be fine.
I think we'll be fine too.
Now the question is, do we want to? Okay, so do we want? Is there any? Do we need any? Backup articles, videos? Like we need to have all that lined up and ready to go if we want to share any of that. So if any, maybe we should reach out to the guests and say, hey, do you want us to have anything preloaded that you want to share? Do you want to, that sort of thing?
Well, here's the thing with like this. I don't know how many guests this is. I'm guessing somewhere around 35 or something like that. With this many guests, what happened?
We lost him.
Who did we lose? Oh,
I thought we lost you. It could be. It could be me.
Oh, okay. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good. He said, Chris just said Carl Anderson is science is religion on Twitter.
That's why. Alien scientists, science is religion. That's where I was getting the confusion. Okay, alien scientists, science is religion. Okay, I got to write that down. Science is
Carl Anderson is science is religion, which I vehemently disagree with, but I'm sure he has his own motives.
Yes. Okay. So what was I saying?
You were saying what an incredible actor and improv artist you are.
Oh, thanks, man.
No, you were saying that.
Was I? Sure about that?
No, I was saying it.
Okay, so see, look at this. I was looking at the comments. The comments there. My girlfriend saying hello. And
that was your girlfriend, Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle. She also said I will be in snack duty and be handing Louis snacks all day.
Oh,
yeah. So she'll be here. She'll be supporting. And actually, we may even get her. You know what? Let's put her in the female hour there. If we don't get UFO Jane, maybe we can get her in there. She's like, yeah, I want me in there. Because I'm like, babe, you helped me do this. Like, come on. Like if I couldn't have done this without you, like I won't be able to do this. You have to bring me water and food, like you're going to be my assistant all day. Oh, that reminds me, dude. Do we need somebody to edit or be a producer of the chat stream? Or is that something you think we should handle?
You mean have somebody produce and post the comments live, like curate a curator of the comments?
That's a nice way to put it.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, it depends. It depends on if that's something that you want to deal with, and if not, then yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who would reach out to me like, hey, you want to look at comments for 8 hours? Like, I don't know who's going to be. You know what? Maybe I could get Michelle to do a little bit of it. Maybe not the whole day, but maybe just for a little while. Because I have a feeling it's going to be tough to navigate those comments. Because I know we're going to be getting great questions.
Can you give me access to that as well as a guest?
I'm sure I can. You know what? Let's figure it out.
Let's do it.
Let's figure it out. Let me go to settings. Guests must authenticate. No, that's not it. Let's see here. Let me see if I can click on your name.
I'm just curious what kind of sandwiches as you're doing that. I'm just curious, Michelle, if you could share with us the types of sandwiches that you'll be making for Luis, because I'm really curious if there's guava involved.
Oh no, there's not gonna be a sandwich with guava. No. That would be a pastry, Michael. Pastry. You get a pastry with some guava, but no. You don't put guava on a sandwich, man. That would be weird.
Well, a snack witch,
Dude, okay, so yeah, and guess it doesn't give me. Man, is there a way for you to hit share screen?
I can share screen. I can share video
is there any button there that says, a request to be, moderator or something?
Negative. I'll look it up. I'll look it up offline and see if there's something that we could do.
Yeah. That's something we should check out.
Michelle just said guava pastries on the way to me.
Yes, sir.
Excited.
Yeah, they're actually really good, man. Yeah, that's just a little thank you from us for helping with all the hosting duties. That's 100% her.
Yeah, she's amazing. I mean, if it wasn't for her, like none of your family would get birthday cards,
Nope.
Same with me, dude. Like
Yeah.
geez, man, I used to just not even remember people's birthdays, and now, thank God, I have a wife.
She completes me. What's hilarious is she'll be like, "Hey, it's," and she'll say like a random friend that I haven't seen in 2 years. She'll be like, "It's so and so's birthday." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Should we send him a card?" I'm like, "No." No, God, no. Send him a card. No, she loves doing that stuff though. So thank God. Okay, so where the hell were we, man? Okay.
Okay, so we were just trying
moderator. There was a way. Yeah. Okay, so you want to do that post show? Figure out if there's a way that you. Okay.
I'll figure that out.
All right. Yeah. Let's make sure we note that down so we don't forget that. Okay. What other issues do we want to explore here?
We just got to make sure, I think, as we wrap up here, I think the only other thing to make sure of is that the correct people have the correct link. So everybody after 2 o'clock has the correct link, and everybody before 2 o'clock has the correct link. That's number one. Yep. Because there could be issues where people are unable to get in. And then I almost wonder if we should like put down a little, a couple mini topics per hour or so. With the different people that are coming in, just so we can have something to fall back on if I get taken away or you get taken away, and we can like easily ramp into a topic. But other than that, I think the with such big personalities coming on it shouldn't be too difficult.
It shouldn't be too difficult. The one thing I am concerned with, and I think we should definitely think about when we send the links to the people who will be joining us, is to warn them that this is a software that sometimes glitches. Even on mine, like for some reason, the last couple of live streams, I've had to completely abandon and start a brand new fresh one because my audio was completely out of sync. So we've got to be able to tell people, hey, if that happens when like it happened with Jazz, don't worry about it. Just
shut down your computer, restart.
Not even shut down the computer, just shut down the browser, shut down your thing, and then hit the link again and come back in, and you should be okay. Hopefully we don't run into those issues, but that's my biggest concern, is technical stuff like that we don't want to lose guests on because they're like, I don't know what to do,
Right. Yeah. I mean, maybe just having folks like, as people come in, like having maybe their messenger up, or like you can easily message them outside of this so that you can tell them what to do, and maybe like have just a little written thing where you can just copy and paste and drop it in and be like, this is what you do. Boom. Yeah. It's there. Boom. It's ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What else, man? Let's see. Everybody's talking about food in the chat right now. No tomato in that sandwich there. Huh? I love that, everybody. I love that this chat is just taking its own animal. Okay. So I guess let's open it up to anyone in the chats. Is there anything you guys want to see? Is there anything you guys think we missed as well? And maybe we can address those. Is there just something we're not thinking of, man? This is like my production brain going to overdrive right now. I'm like, what have we not thought of that is going to smack us in the face that day when you and I go, oh shit, we didn't plan for this. I mean, the only thing I can think of is just like a complete outage of internet. Like if that happened to either one of us.
Right. Well, we would just blame the phenomenon.
Or the government.
Or the government.
No.
I mean, the only major issues obviously would be technical difficulties, but I mean, StreamYard is so robust, and even if there are issues, generally all you have to do is close your browser and come back in. So I think just having, being prepared for that, I think will be a big issue. Sound issues are common, says Rodrigo. A lot of talk about tomatoes.
The one thing we gotta for sure do is God, I just lost my train of thought, man. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it. We just talked about it. Oh, making sure that you have control of this system.
Oh yeah. I'll look into that.
That the two of us can do that. But what and also what I was going to say, and I lost track of this. Going back to the guests and things that we could fall back on and talk to. Like I think we have a share screen. If one of us is talking, we could always just Google that thing and pop it right up. No,
which
about anything. Like if let's say somebody's got a website, and that way, if you're talking to them about the website, I could look up their thing and then we could pop it up. I don't know if we need unless somebody's got like a presentation, and if they do have a present, like Graham had a presentation when he came onto my show the other day, and that was something he was able to share really easily from his end. So if we run into that, I think that's great.
I think one of us, as long as one of us is just holding the floor for our guests.
Yeah.
The other one can, and you can just mention that to me, and then you and I can probably have a side signal conversation here. This way, we can dap each other, and I'll just be like, hey, can you share this or whatever, and vice versa.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're good, man.
Yeah, I think we covered it all. I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything in the news happened today? I don't know. I've been pretty busy.
Yeah, I've been working all day, bro. I barely pulled my head up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I want to remind you of my live stream tomorrow with Jeremy Reeves. So definitely come to that. That'll be at 3:00. And I think on Thursday we might do a collaborative live stream with Graham Rendell. He dropped another article on the debrief, so we were going to talk about that possibly. I don't know. We'll see. We're trying to pull schedules together because he's on the other side of the planet. So sometimes it's tough, because if I'm doing it in the middle of the day, you can't be there. If I'm doing it at night, Jeremy can't be there. So yeah, we'll figure it out.
I can occasionally. Usually, for me, like my like Mondays during the day, it's all client meetings, and then Tuesday, Wednesday during the day is pretty much work. But here and there, I can definitely pop in on occasion during the day. But
right on. Yeah. Oh, well, whatever. It's like I said, it's all fun. The channel is free flowing, so things will change. Things will happen all the time. So make sure you ring the bell. Make sure you like this video and all the videos you watch on this channel, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already. Gosh, what are you waiting for? A big thing that I think that people have been asking as well, and I'm just gonna reemphasize this, is time zones. Oh, what time zone is it in? How do I know? I don't want to miss it. Ring the bell. Ring the bell on the channel and you will be informed. You will get a warning a half hour and 15 minutes before we go live. So you will not miss it no matter what time zone you're in. So that's something I'm going to emphasize for sure the next couple of days in the lead up to this event. So please help me spread that message, you guys. Want to say thank you to the sponsor, BlueMarlinChronicles.com, purveyors of the world's finest fishing tackle since 1995. And they'll be here. My dad will be here the 25th. And of course, I want to say thank you to DOS Tapes. They provide all the music you hear on the show. Their SoundCloud link is in the description below. Michael Mataluni, tell the people where they can find your stuff, my man.
Hit me up on Twitter at Calamity Mike.
How soon are we on this rebranding?
I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about that, but I'm exhausted.
Yeah, no worries.
So I am planning on so my old show is called Cocktails and Calamity, where we went live every Friday, talked about the technology, politics, and social transformations shaping humanity's global future. But we're shifting it a little bit. I want to be able to go live without having a cocktail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to. But what I'm really fascinated with, and so I'm very interested in the UAP phenomenon, and it's definitely something that's a big part of my interest, but more deeply, I'm really into science and tech and futurism, and I'm really interested in how science and technology is evolving and what it's going to look like and the exponential explosion of tech over the next 10 years. And so The channel rebrand. I'm thinking about a couple things. I'm thinking about rebranding and calling it the Singularity Report, and really focusing on the technology and the philosophy and the humanity behind AI and different technologies that are going to be changing how we how our world is shaped. And I think there's some amazing stuff coming down the pike. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm working on.
You remember that show Beyond 2000?
Beyond 2000. No. That's
yeah. I was gonna say based off of that, based off of those melodic tunes you just laid out. I'm like, okay, he's never seen this show.
No,
never seen it. It was just like a show on in like the early 90s, and it was like a future and tech show. Like, they I think they were the first television show to introduce GPS to the public, and they were like, in the future, and they've got like this fucking dial-up phone in the car, and it's hooked up to a modem, and it's like, it's the worst, very first baby step of GPS, and they're like, this is gonna be huge. And in 1990, you're like, give me a break. I'll just use a map, buddy. And here we are. GPS on golf carts, man. Right? Like, it's insane. It's insane.
Oh, dude, and we've barely scratched the surface. Like, this shit excites the hell out of me, man. Like,
yeah, man. I love future tech, and I think a lot of the things that people hate about future tech is the growing pains of it. Like, they want flying cars now. They don't want them tomorrow. Like, I remember, like, Beyond 2000, flying cars, thing of the future. I'm in my brain, I'm like, oh, dude, by 2001, we're gonna have flying cars. No, dummy. Like, this is
no
like
dice.
40, 50 years down the road. But yeah, I love the philosophizing of it. Like, that movie that Steven Spielberg made, Minority Report, that vision of that film was just a conglomeration of the smartest, I don't even know what they would call them, sort of visionaries that and scientists that are predicting what will be in the future. And we see some of those things already starting to come to fruition, especially in the drone aspect of that film.
Yes, it's incredible. And you just look at AI. I mean, AI is coming. It's just, and the whole idea of the singularity is, before you know it, it will have happened, and you will not be able to imagine the world prior to that. Like, that's the idea. And so, as it streams at us, as it comes flying at our face, I want to document, humanity's progress. And I think there's a note here when it comes to philosophy and ethics and how we program. Like, all of the technology of the future will have human fingerprints all over it. And the question is, what is that going to look like? Are we stepping into a dystopic reality, or are we building, a post scarcity world where it is a sort of utopia with technology? It's fascinating to me, and I absolutely love the topic. And I think that, what I didn't want to do was pigeonhole myself, but I think I think that what I can bring to the context to that conversation is beyond just AI and technology, but really about philosophy, technology, and science. And that's what I'm excited to report on.
Yeah, well, dude, I think you knock it out of the park. And I can tell you this, Christopher Plain likes the name of the Singularity Report. That's Rodrigo Vieira likes the name. Well, he says Singularity is a rapture for nerds. Looking forward to this. Going to try my best to be there as much as I can. I will retweet all week. Thank you, John. That is epic, dude. Anything you can do is loved and appreciated. Love the name, Mike. After he gave you the Rapture for Nerds, so many things came to fruition from Beyond 2000. And Alicia, you are so right. That show, absolute, dude, it had the internet, the early stages of the internet, cell phones, GPS. Like, they were talking about that shit in 1990. So yeah, I'd like to go back and watch old reruns. Like, on YouTube, there's reruns of Beyond 2000. Michelle thinks it's a dope name.
Already done. Already locked it down, Michelle. Thank you.
Yeah, damn, dude. So people like the name. Okay, so all right, dude. I'm glad that you talked about that.
Yeah,
so now you got a couple of opinions on it too.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you all for being here. Don't forget to ring the bell. This Saturday, April 24th, 2021. You've seen the guest list. You've seen what's coming. You go have an idea of what this show is going to be. I hope you guys are excited about it. And yeah, Michael, I'll let you close the show.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. First of all, I want to thank you, Luis, because none of this would have happened had Luis not had this incredible brainchild, because it is something that no, I'm serious. It really is valuable and it is important. And, you know, me coming from the perspective of somebody who was able to help you, you know, just pitch in what I could. I was happy to do it, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. And I think we need more transparency. We need more data, and we need to get to the truth. And I think that's the bottom line. It's about the truth. It's not about our egos. It's not about any of that. So let's do that. Let's focus on that. And we'll see you guys on Saturday. Oh, real quick, somebody mentioned, are we going to put the schedule up? We're going to put the guest schedule up before.
You know what? That's a great suggestion.
That is a great suggestion.
Maybe. How would we do it? Do you think we should just release like a screenshot of this list?
Let's. Why don't we finish up the list, and then I'll see if I can pretty it up or something like that.
I mean, I think also it could be cool. God damn it, now we're continuing the show again after we just ended it. But it's a good idea. Made me think. But maybe we could do we'll tweet every half hour who's going to be on that half hour. So, if there's a name that you see, boom, you can hop in. If you're too busy, you got work, you got kids, you got whatever you're doing. But if there's one guest that you want to see, just tune into either Michael or Mike's Twitter account, and we'll tweet them out. That might be a way to do it too. Maybe at the beginning of the day, we'll tweet out the list, the whole thing. And then every half hour we'll double down and just tell you who's going to be joining us and tag them in it as well. So then their fans know.
I love it. And you can follow me on Twitter at Calamity Mike.
Awesome. Well, until next time, you guys, thank you for coming aboard and getting weird with me. We'll see you on Saturday. Peace out.
Unidentified. Unidentified.